I just thought, what do I actually want to do with my life? And I thought, I want to live it more. I'm, sick of the grind, the hamster wheel, so to speak. You can still be a bit glam, and yeah, and I think that's what surprises people. They're like, what, you live in a van? I'm like, yeah. One person even sniffed me. They sniffed my arm and went, you don't smell like a van, you live in a van. I thought, cheek. This is my home. I've lived in here 4 years. Why don't you come inside and take a look?
Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're meeting up with Anne, who's been doing full-time van life for 4 years.
We get to hear why she's made the move into a van after living conventionally, and Anne also shows us how you can do van life glamorously, so stick around for the full video. And we hope that you enjoy it. Let us know in the comments what you think, and if you like it and want to see more content like this, then make sure you're subscribed. Back to it.
So I'm Anne Maria. I got into van life October 21, nearly 4 years now. I absolutely love it. It's the best decision I've ever made. Before van life, I had various occupations and then a change in my personal circumstances, and I just thought, what do I actually want to do with my life? And I thought, I want to live it more. I'm, sick of the grind, the hamster wheel, so to speak. And I love traveling, exploring, getting out there, and the freedom. So it was a no-brainer for me. So my main motivation is the travel, the adventure. I still get a buzz every time I go somewhere new. What will it be like? What is there to look at? And I love meeting people as well, so I'm really sociable. So I just absolutely love it all. With this lifestyle, I was, I suppose, searching for a bit more adventure, a bit more contentment, and a more fulfilling life, I guess, is what I would say. I think what this has given me that a house hasn't is, again, the freedom word, a lot more freedom, but it's also allowed me, because I spend long times on my own, I've got to know myself better. So when there's just you on your own, you really get to know yourself and you know your strengths, your weaknesses, and it puts you in a really good stead in life. With regards to conventional life, I hear lots of people moaning about their job or their relationship or where they live. All I would say to people is take a step back and look at what you're doing with your life, because you're only going to get one life. So do what makes you happy. If you're unhappy in a job, change it. If you're unhappy in a relationship, change it. Change your life for happiness. Okay, so this is my home, my little home on wheels. I absolutely love it. It's a Citroen Relay Enterprise. It's a 2015 plate. It's an H2L3, and she is perfect for me. I went for this size and a van over a motorhome because for me, the van's far sturdier and less places to leak than a motorhome, which I had trouble with in the past. And I chose this size because I wanted it to be small enough to be able to fit into a car park, which I can do if I stay around the edge of a car park and stick the bum over the edge. And I wanted it small enough to be able to get down the little country lanes to go exploring, because for me, it's the hidden gems that I love looking for. I bought this at a private sale and I paid £20,000 for it. It was ready converted. It was a private conversion. A lovely chap up in Preston, and he was a cabinet maker and kitchen fitter, and for me he's fitted it out just perfectly, so I love it. I knew the layout I wanted. I knew that I wanted somewhere to be able to relax that wasn't just on a bed, and I wanted a comfy place to relax, not a sort of bolt upright bench, and this ticks all the boxes. Tour around the outside. We've obviously got the sliding door here. I've got sliding windows, and what I also do is put some mesh across them in the hot weather, and that stops the flies coming in. This window's only slightly tinted. I would prefer it much darker. Coming further along, this is the vent for the Truma gas heater. Here is my water fill-up point, and here is my electricity mains plug. So with the water, I've got an underslung tank. It's 66 litres, and also when I show you the inside, I've got another 20-litre container which I use just for drinking water. Yes, so here is my waste outlet, and I think that's a 50-litre waste, so I'll obviously find somewhere suitable to empty that.
Alright guys, just a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Jackery. We both use Jackery gear every single day, and it's what keeps our off-grid life running smoothly. So this is the Jackery 2000 V2, the heart of my off-grid setup, with a 2200 watt output and a 2042 watt hour capacity, powering everything I need to live and work remotely. From my fridge, my laptop, Starlink internet, and I even plug in my power hungry induction hob all at the same time.
I've got the Jackery 1000 V2 paired with the 200 watt solar Saga panel. This setup is perfect for me because it's compact, lightweight and powerful enough to handle daily life. I can edit on the go, run on my laptop, charge my phone and my camera gear. And this Jackery might be small, but it's powerful. I can even power my NutriBullet blender, so I don't have to give up any luxuries when on the road. And I love that when I'm using the solar panel, it runs on free renewable energy, but I can also charge it from the van, a hybrid setup, or from a wall socket, reaching 100% in just 1.7 hours.
So whether it's van life, camping, home emergencies, or just wanting reliable off-grid power, we can definitely recommend Jackery. Right now, there's limited time discount, so check the link out in the description below. And with that, thanks to Jackery for sponsoring this video. Back to it.
So with the gas heating, I've actually got an underslung gas tank. There's a fill point here, that's auto gas, and you fill it at the petrol stations. The only thing I would say is more and more petrol stations are starting to not sell the gas, so slightly concerning, but it's way, way cheaper than bottles. On the top of the van, I'm not sure if you can see from here, I've got two solar panels. They're two 175 watt monochrome panels, or mono something, it's a long word, but they're those. For me, I wanted to be totally off grid, so this van is, with that and the 220 gel battery, it suits me. I've got to be a little bit careful in the deep winter with the dark nights. Occasionally I'll have to go somewhere and plug in a couple of times through the winter, but generally I get away with it. If we want a little look in the back, now don't be alarmed. As I mentioned before, I'm a bit of a hoarder and I have to carry everything with me, although I am pretty organised. So in the back, this is where I hang dresses because I can't fold them in my cupboards, and then everything else is stored in here. Behind here is a board with all the electrics and the Truma boiler, so it all fits in there. As I mentioned in the past, I had to really downsize from the house. It is a more minimalistic life, however, I've taken it a bit to the edge, you know, because I like my comforts and I like my girly stuff and all. I like shoes and all that stuff. You can still be a bit glam, and yeah, and I think that's what surprises people. They're like, what, you live in a van? I'm like, yeah. One person even sniffed me. They sniffed my arm and went, you don't smell like a van, you live in a van. I thought, cheek. You'll notice she's pretty plain. Now for me, I love to jazz things up and I would love to have all the beautiful decals on it and everything else and make her look blinging. However, I want to be more stealth, and I also don't want to make her too desirable for somebody who may decide to nick her. I'm very happy with her. She suits me. It's fantastic. My current situation is that I have a pet sitting business. I'm my own boss, so I choose when I work and when I don't. And most of my business is repeat clients, so it's pretty easy and it fits around. I try not to work in total more than about 6 months a year. What I tend to do each year is block a couple of months off in the middle of the year and I'll go off to Europe. So for me, I could probably work 12 months a year. It's the quality of life and I want to spend my time having a good time. The work-life balance is massive because, you know, most people work all year. They get maybe 2 or 3 weeks holiday and they'll go off and, you know, probably have a great time. But life is too short for me to spend Monday to Friday or even 6 days a week working for one day off. And on that day off, you're probably doing all your chores and catching up on stuff and cutting the lawn and cleaning the house. And so for me, it's again, as I say, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, I feel I've managed to get out of the rat race, and being self-employed is massive because I've not got to answer to anybody, so I can basically do what I want when I want as long as I earn enough money through my business, which thankfully I do. So it is way cheaper than a house, but it isn't cheap as chips. I think a lot of people think it costs peanuts to live in a van. It doesn't, because you still have your direct debits for various things like your mobile phone, your insurance, your tax for the vehicle, you've got fuel to pay for. So you've still got everything else to pay for. So it's not as cheap as chips, but it depends on the lifestyle you lead in the van. There's various ways of living this lifestyle. For me, it's about getting out there and exploring. You don't need to be rich. I recently did a 2-month tour in Europe, and the overall amount, I think if I get it right, was £2,200 odd pounds. Now, for me, the biggest saving was the fact I'm off grid, because if I had to pay 20 or 30 euros a night on a campsite, it makes it expensive. People often say, well, how much does a road trip cost? For me, it's a bit like a piece of string. It depends how you're going to live your life. Are you going to eat in posh restaurants? Are you going to go to lots of attractions? You know, how are you going to spend your money? I spend my money wisely and it goes further. And yeah, it would be nice to splash out a bit more at times, but it means that it enables me to go another time. I definitely think this is the best lifestyle for me. I wish I'd done it years before, and I just feel I've been missing out. So I'm just going at it now and making up for lost time and enjoying every moment, really. This is my home. I've lived in here 4 years, and why don't you come inside and take a look? So, as I mentioned before, I've got separate 20-litre drinking water, and this is kept here. And that comes through out of this spout, so quite easy to get to and top up. So we're at the front of the van here. As you'll see, I've got thermal curtains. They'll get drawn across on an evening, keep me nice and warm. This is my bin, nice tight fitting lid because you can get nasty smells otherwise. It used to have 3 seats at the front. I had the double taken out and the single put in because for me, particularly being a female on my own, if I need to get in the front and drive away, I didn't want to be going outside. Above here, a bit more storage, make-uppy stuff, you know how it is. So across here, more storage. The thing I love about this van is there's loads of storage. Love these buttons as well. It stops anything popping open. Coming down, this is where I mentioned the comfy sofa. This is just fabulous to sit on. This table, so versatile. I can sit there and work on my laptop. I can eat, I can do whatever I need to. Lovely and comfy. This comes around, laptop, food, do my makeup, anything at all. Or it can go right the way across and join the flap for the kitchen. You've got worktop all the way around if you like cooking. So underneath this sofa, the whole area is storage. So again, that's full, as you can imagine, but it's loads of storage, and it does me a treat. And I love the way that the back isn't dead straight. He's put it at an angle, so it's really comfy to sit on. What I also do, if I ever get the TV out, which is rare, the driver's seat can wind forwards. I'll swap the cushions around and I can sit fully extended with my feet up, so it's absolutely fantastic. So we're now in the east wing, which is the kitchen, and we have storage all across the top, which is fabulous. This is the fresh drinking water. I've got a couple of little gauges there. One's for the water, tells me when the waste is full. Absolute waste of time, doesn't work at all. And the gas one, you may as well just guess, because it fluctuates. It's ridiculous. The sink, nice little tap pops up, and a 2-ring gas cooker. I don't do a massive amount of cooking in here because I don't want to smell the van up, and I just don't really enjoy it, so I don't bother. It's just for me. I've got USB plugs for phones, etc. This are the switches for the overhead fans, and that's just a little night light thing I picked up. Up here's the control panel for the Truma gas system, and that blows hot air into the room, and it also heats the water as well. Really good system. Within 10 minutes of turning it on, the van's warm, so it's fantastic. This tells me where my battery's at, and lighting underneath for the kitchen, and here I've got a USB and a 12-volt plug. Storage in here for all the kitchen stuff, bits of food. Underneath, this is what I call my messy drawer, all the little bits and bobs, like everybody's got a drawer at home, haven't they, where they chuck in it, so that's all those bits. And then more drawers, all with food, etc. Here I've got the fridge. This is a little 12-volt fridge. It has the essentials in, as you can see. I leave it on the whole time, really efficient, fantastic. That's a Vitrifrigo fridge. Underneath here, more storage, and I store a lot of the shower gel, etc. for the shower, which is just opposite. So yeah, seems to work pretty well. Behind here is a shower and WC. It's got 2 different heights you can set your shower at. It's quite tight, but it does the job. Just, you don't want to drop the soap. There's a curtain that comes around, so it stops the toilet getting totally drenched, which is fab. A little bit of hanging space at the back, and of course the toilet. The toilet's I think they're called Thetford chemical toilet, and here is the hatch that you access it to empty it. So it saves a hole in the outside of the van again, so I thought that was pretty clever, to be fair. I would never buy a van personally without a shower. You know, just the situation of COVID when everything was shut, you know, what did people do? So for me, a shower was an absolute must, and a toilet. Often in the UK in winter, to save me topping my water, drying out the shower afterwards, etc., I'll use a leisure centre. You can pay to most leisure centres, especially the council run ones, you can pay to just have a shower, so it's just way easier for me. Below the bed here, the bottom panel with the grill is where the Truma gas boiler is kept, and we've got a blower here, one in the kitchen and one in the shower room, and above here again is just a bit more storage. Above the bed, more storage top and bottom. Thankfully, as I say, it's got great storage in the van. So I'm now in the south wing, which is the bedroom. Fixed bed, it's 4 foot wide and I'm 5'10". I fit in sideways, and if I really stretch out, the top of my head and toes will just touch each side, but it's really comfy. It's got a really comfy mattress. And all these, I know I said I'm girly, they're not for looks. This is storage. So I've got extra coats in here, extra sheets, blankets, all in there. So it's just another way of making more room really. But yeah, all the lighting, touch lighting all the way along. Up here is an air vent. This is a good little thing stuck on Velcro, and that just stops the daylight coming in. More storage across the bottom of the bed. Smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector, get one fitted, you know, it makes sense. And I think that's about it really. I just absolutely love it. I've got reading lights both sides, so it's got everything you need in my opinion. Yeah, it's really cosy of a night, very comfortable, and sometimes it makes me laugh sometimes because people will say, oh, you know, you're welcome to stop at mine in a proper bed. So I'm not quite sure what they think I sleep in, but my bed's very comfy and I absolutely love it. Yeah, I'm happy with how the van is. I feel good about it. Everything as I would like it. It works for me, the space works for me, and there's nothing that I need that I haven't got really. No regrets whatsoever. As I mentioned, I just wish I'd done it sooner. I just love it, it's fantastic. When I mention to people I live in a van, I get varied responses. I get from, you don't look like you live in a van. I'm not sure what you're meant to look like when you live in a van. I get people, I can tell sort of, would I say maybe looking down their nose at me or prejudging me. Now I've got to be honest, before I started van life, I might have been one of those people. I think if somebody had said to me, oh, I live in a van, I would have thought, oh gosh, I bet, you know, that they're not doing great with their life, they may be struggling, etc., etc. And it's so untrue, and I feel such a fool thinking it now. I do this by choice, and I know some people think, good God, what is she thinking? And I know some people say to me, oh, it's my dream to do it, but they don't feel brave enough to. And I would say, get out there and live your dream, whatever it may be. My favourite thing about living in a van is that I get to choose where I park up, whether it be in the middle of nowhere with a beautiful view, whether it's in a city because I've been out for the night with or met friends or whatever. So it's so diverse really, and it just doesn't get boring. As with everything, it's not roses all the time. There's a downside to every way you live your life. For me, the downside, I guess, is if something goes wrong with the van, I've got to worry about where I'm going to stop and getting it fixed. In the winter, I hate the windows condensating. It drives me mad. Emptying the toilet, never good fun. But apart from that, I can honestly say that's about it. I do get people saying, well, you can't do this forever, what's your plan? Personally, I've never ever had a life plan. I've always fallen into any job that I've done, any situation, it's just happened. As I say, I'm 60, it's worked so far, and my answer to the question would be, I'll carry on doing it until I don't enjoy it anymore. I may carry on and do it right into old age, or I may think one day, actually, I've had enough of this. But I will have done it, I will have tried it, and I'm certainly enjoying it. Yeah, I think, as I mentioned, to search for something and the contentment, yeah, I do feel I've found that. I feel I've really got to know myself more. I'm happy on my own, I'm happy in groups, I'm happy sociably. So for me, it's been priceless. So if there are people out there that think it's something I'd like to try, what I would say is give it a go. I'm 60 now. A lot of people might think, oh God, you can't change your life this old, but you can. Get out there and give it a go. If it doesn't work, you can change it. You can go and do something else. It's not written in stone. Just give whatever your dream is a go, whether it's van life, whatever it is. If you really want to do it, but you're a little bit frightened to, just take the plunge. As I mentioned, it's not written in stone. Try it. If it doesn't work, you'll always know you gave it a go. If you don't try, you'll always wonder, what would it have been like? Would it have worked? I'd just like to round off by saying that I hope I've inspired it. If I've inspired at least one person to get out there and live their dream, it's been well worth it. You're stronger than you think and you can do it. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've given you a bit of an insight into van life. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok and YouTube. Please pop along, it'd be great.
All right guys, thanks for tuning in there, and a big thanks to Anne for sharing a story with us and showing us around.
Make sure to follow her on the socials. All the links for that will be down below in the description. And let us know in the comments what you think, because we'd love to hear it. And if you like it and want to see more content like this, then make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you in the next one.